New from Hammer, as part of their Hammer Presents, is Cry of the Banshee, available in Blu-ray or 4K UHD. This is the 4K UHD version, and this is a cult folk horror film starring the wonderful Vincent Price. It's set in 16th century England, where we have Lord Whitman, who rules this land with cruelty and sadism, persecuting the supposed witches and crushing anyone who dares challenge his authority. But when he targets a coven led by the mysterious Una, he unknowingly summons something much darker than superstition, a demonic force bound for vengeance. What follows is a traditional witch hunt tale, which has a more slow burn curse narrative, as this man and his family begins to unravel under the weight of supernatural retribution. Now, this isn't subtle gothic horror, it's operatic, it's nasty, it's dripping with atmosphere. The production standards are wonderful, and Vincent Price is at his most megalomaniacal here, larger than life, painting a tapestry through cruelty, blood and tears. This is a man who has taken his power and ran with it. He knows, there's no doubt in my mind at all, this character, Lord Whitman, knows that these people aren't witches, but there is a sadistic pleasure being taken out here in holding somebody's life in the palm of his hand, reaching out and just squeezing, slowly destroying their lives. Released in 1970, produced by American International Pictures, this late period kind of gothic cycle of horror films is tinted a little bit with exploitation. It revels in the destruction of someone. It takes pleasure in their utter destruction, and there is something rather nasty about that. It's something, for me, that I never quite like in these films. I've seen many like it, where you see people brutalised because of one man's reach for power, who hates to be challenged, who loves to bring down and break people. There is something horrible about that idea that really gets to me. But here, pushed by a wonderful Vincent Price performance, it's just over the top, in your face, and something just so shocking. But you can see his utter delight and glee in doing what he is doing.
The more I find to punish, the more I find to discover. Who else came to the house consorting with the witch?
I know nothing of witchcraft.
There is some kind of shorthand here with Vincent Price as a star, because he's not as flamboyant as some other of his gothic roles. He plays Whitman as cold, as vicious. There's not a lot of charm here, just arrogance and menace, but he knows what he's doing and he ramps it up wonderfully. It has this kind of horror folk vibe to it as well. Not quite Witchfinder General. It shares the kind of late 60s obsession with rural cruelty, which is something that I rather enjoy within these films. The production standards look wonderful, and some of the sequences are just, but they look icky, just in the general living standards of what people have at this time.
How much longer must I wait? You sent me the Avenger, but not the power to bend him to my will.
However, the atmosphere, although it is strong and it is moody, it occasionally drags. The revenge build-up takes a while to get there. It's almost a little bit of the rinse and repeat at the start, as we see them targeting someone, pushing their power upon them, and ultimately destroying those people. And it becomes a little bit less compelling, and you're just waiting for a bigger payoff. And I'm not sure the payoff of the film actually comes or is worthwhile at the end. But for me, it's all about the production standards, it's all about some of the fun characters, it's all about some of the fun horror set pieces and how they're paced up. And I really kind of like that. And with Vincent Price as the lead, you know you're getting something that's worth checking out.
To protect you, I must destroy her. To find her, I will kill as many of you as I need to.
So the wonderful thing about this release is that there are two cuts on it. You get the director's cut and you get the theatrical cut, both in 4K and both looking wonderful. Now, I watched the director's cut and I kind of looked through the theatrical cut just to get an idea of how the material has been handled, and it is wonderful. When you look at the director's cut, the Dolby Vision gives a great vividness to the colouring. The reds and the greens really pop on this one. It feels energetic. The flesh tones are particularly great, and it just feels like a kind of heightened story here. But the theatrical cut is very different, and I kind of like that difference between the two films. You know, say the reds and the greens again, they're a little bit more muted. They're a little bit more natural on this one. It's where the Dolby Vision really shines for me, is within the theatrical cut, so much so that I'm already planning a watch of that. The audio, again, absolutely terrific. It's the standout of the 4K discs for me. The theatrical cut, again, wins for me with the sound. It has the one track, kind of mono sound, but it just feels more natural to me, so much so that, again, it is why I'm planning to go back and watch this one already. There are some other extras on here as well. We get the Curse of Ages, a newly recorded interview with Kim Newman, which is always worthwhile. You know Kim Newman, or if you don't, you really should do. He has a wealth of knowledge on these kind of films and takes great pleasure in talking us through some of the aspects of the film. There's theatrical trailers, there's TV spots, there's image galleries, and there is the devilish tale of Poe, an archival interview with the director of the film, which is a great addition as well. I really did enjoy Cry of the Banshee. It's not the perfect Hammer movie, but it's a really fun one with a fantastic restoration yet again. It's a grim, brooding slice of late-era Gothic horror that is really powered by a vicious performance by Vincent Price. It lacks the kind of elegance of his earlier Poe films, but it makes up for that with a kind of meaner streak and an oppressive atmosphere that really dominates the film. Another wonderful transfer by Hammer, another great addition to the Hammer series with this Hammer Presents. I'm looking forward to seeing what else is to come. I'd love to know your thoughts on Cry of the Banshee. Let me know in the comment box below whether you love it, hate it, or fall somewhere in the middle. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. In the description box are links to Patreon, membership program, and manvfilm.com always, in which you can support. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.